For 10 years consistently, Alton Towers has held the world record for having the most inversions on a roller coaster. They've got a near vertical dive roller coaster. They've even got a wooden coaster that gets caught on fire every time it goes round. There was a roller coaster that was so popular that once it was past its sell-by date that they just built the exact same thing again. If you're a thrill seeker, how could you hate Alton Towers? In this video, I'm going to be answering that. Why is it that the people who go to Alton Towers the most often are the people who like it the least? There's a weird phenomenon in the roller coaster community in the UK where there's a lot of complaining that goes on about the theme parks. And today, specifically, we're going to be talking about Alton Towers. What is it that makes theme park enthusiasts so put off by it, but at the same time draws them to come back every time? I'm one of those people, so I'm going to be giving you an insider look into what on earth is going on in our brains. And I'll give you a clue, just like my other videos. Autism probably has a lot to do with it. If you're not a roller coaster enthusiast, you're very welcome to be here as well. Hopefully you'll learn a little bit about this weird niche world. And if you are a roller coaster enthusiast, hopefully you can relate to a little bit of this. But what I really hope for you is that you don't relate at all and you still have the love for theme parks permanently branded onto your heart. There's a bit of a gory imagery there, sorry. Join me for a one day in the life of a roller coaster enthusiast who hates going to theme parks. And now I would like to note that I am using quite emotive language here. I don't actually hate anything really, apart from like bugs, some bugs. And like when people shout at me, but we'll get to that. So we go to Alton Towers so often because we've got our gold Merlin annual pass, not a premium pass, not premium pass holders. So we just have gold because we're peasants, but it does mean we can go most days of the year to Alton Towers. And we get used to some of the little life hacks. And because we've got an electric vehicle, this is how we get to park to the nearest to the entrance of Alton Towers as you possibly can. Because, as you might know, if you park in one of the normal car parks at Alton Towers, you will have hit your step count goal before you reach the front gate.
Jack's got a fact about the cars.
Sometimes, when the Alton Towers staff feel like it, they'll separate them in the car park by colour.
Alton Towers will bless you with the torture of walking around the entire length of this very big park, just to go back to the entrance and walk back to the back of the park where you want to be, where Nemesis is. A little side note, I've actually flown around Alton Towers from the sky and it looks very small from the sky. Just again, had to get that in there. It's just the way I am. Pay so much for a qualification, you do kind of just want to mention it once or twice. So yeah, sorry, it's not that cool. We were looking around at the park at this time of day thinking, oh, it's a weekday, it's gonna be so dead, like the school trip season's over because it's September, right? Oh no! I'm remembering feelings we felt. It was not like that at all. It looked so good to start off with. Just you wait and you will see where things go wrong.
Lovely sunny day today.
We thought it would rain, so we went out especially yesterday to get some raincoats. But it's actually really sunny.
Refund time.
Refund? But there is some bad news, which is that I'm extremely desperate for the loo. Yeah, there was no one there. Didn't have to queue to get into the park. First thing that kind of annoys me is the need for a baggage check at Alton Towers. I mean, they're not as thorough as they are at Thorpe Park, and this isn't Alton Towers' fault. This is the guests' fault. It really breaks my heart that we need to do that. Oh, a little anecdote here that I've just thought of. When I was this big, so I was 15, I went to Disneyland Paris and it was my first time going abroad on my own. Yeah, I was 15. I am just so hardcore. Going to Disneyland Paris, really hardcore. And I'd bought a Millennium Falcon keyring, which I probably still have somewhere. When I got back to our hotel with my friend who was only 16, with, you know, our little Disney ears on and little cutesy skater skirts, you know, looking very wholesome, we had to get our bags x-rayed and they thought that the Millennium Falcon, which was sold in the park, was a grenade. Do I look like someone who would carry a grenade? Don't answer that. I wouldn't. Where do you even get one from? No, don't answer that. I don't know where you get them from. Given the only shop I never really go into is Halfords, I'm going to assume that's where you get them from. Anyone else been scammed by Halfords? Okay, Another video. That's not related to theme parks whatsoever. Very sidetracked. So it was looking like a good day. We were just chilling in the entrance, admiring how empty it was. So this was September time, as I said. So pre-Scarefest and post-summer.
A place to ourselves.
But we've been keeping an eye on the operations throughout the summer, and we had noticed that there was, I guess, a lack of open stuff over summer. So we were hopeful that Alton Towers may have fixed that. And yes, that is something that a lot of enthusiasts do. We look up the queue times for rides at theme parks we're not at while we're sat here. And you know what? I'm gonna do it after this video is done. Let's have a look now. If you want to use our queue bot, we have that in the Discord. Battle Galleons is on 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, everything's very quiet. Looking at how quiet it is now is making me it's making my eye twitch, I'm not gonna lie, because that's not what we got on this day. It's very quiet. I shouldn't have looked. Why did you make me look?
So today we're going to be investigating the operations of Alton Towers because the operations have been proper pants recently. So hopefully it'll be a lot better of a day. We're here nice and early. Let's have a look, shall we? Come with me.
So there was Curse of York Manor. I've mentioned before I don't really ride that anymore. And there is a video that's coming up that's going to be the ultra rare facts about Alton Towers that you've never heard before, because I have a lot of insider information on Alton Towers, even though I've never worked there. I live very far away and I don't go that often. So keep an eye out for that if you want some fun facts. And here is a little teaser of the kind of things you might learn.
You may notice that there's a lot of old trees at Alton Towers. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting embarrassed. Something that you obviously have noticed about Alton Towers is that the trees here are really big, old and wrinkly, to be honest. And the reason for that is because they've been here a long time. Some say that they actually might be some of the oldest trees in Stoke-on-Trent. And the reason that they have lasted so long is because they haven't been cut down and they've been fertilised. That's it, thank you. I not know about Nemesis Subterra. They actually hired a load of miners to dig the hole out underground to build the ride. It's said that the Nemesis track is meant to represent the pin that keeps the Nemesis creature in the ground.
One of those facts is true. Have a guess which one it is. There's nothing that gets an enthusiast's blood fizzing like a front row ride on the Nemesis Reborn roller coaster ride. It's just so good. People keep saying it's rattly. It's not, it's fine. So actually, I know that this is going to be about complaining, but there's no complaints here on Nemesis. I love it.
Got a front row ride on Nemesis without any queue. And the best bit was that, sorry for whispering, it's a bit shy, was that they've closed the long side of the queue so you can just walk straight on, and they've got new photo opportunities now. So they do a little short video and then freeze frame it like this.
Did you just see how empty and quiet it's looking like it's going to be? This is something you might need to know about me now that I have spontaneously gained 1,000 subscribers, a lot of which are going to be interested in the same thing as me, so likely to find me in the same places as them. I'm very shy in real life. I probably don't seem it here.
Give us a hee-hee! Oh, I think we're a bit more confident here. If it is, I love the airtime. Name it.
Name it.
Jazz hand.
Oh! Hey!
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to interview this random person. Excuse me, are you Theme Park Worldwide from YouTube? I've literally seen you on YouTube.
I am actually very shy. So vlogging like this, like James Smiles with a gimbal in public, isn't really something I'm that good at yet.
Hey!
So give me some time. In fact, the older I get, the worse I get at it. Something that isn't really Alton Towers' fault, but something that does really annoy me is how much money I spend on merchandise when I don't need it. So even though I've been through this shop several times, I do still go in it every time I'm there.
Merch is really good, and I like this motto, especially like the t-shirts, the crop tops, this
Husband.
I like these, I like the bobble hats, that's nice, a jersey, that's a bit Embarrassing keyring that you could get at Alton Towers. I will look for a competitor, but this is pretty embarrassing. What is it? It's about time that they put John Wardley's book in the shops. He wrote this years ago. Oh, Life After Nemesis. No, I've not seen that one.
And yeah, I did buy that horrible, disgusting neon green Toxicator shirt. I love it. I think I actually only find it disgusting because of the opening day incident, which I'm never going to drop. I'm never going to drop that. If you're new here, there was a poo explosion of toxic waste underneath Toxicator on its open day this year, which is hilarious. That's still funny to me. Toxicator queue line. It's a Toxicator poo line. So I'm sorry, I know that's really old news, but fact is stranger than fiction, am I right? Speaking of merch, if you're interested in some really awesome, rare theme park merch that is affordable for the spooky season or for Christmas presents, as that is fast approaching, check out the website. There's a sale going on. I sell theme park pins and a theme park stickers, and you get a free sticker with every pin purchase, so make sure you check it out and don't miss the sale. You might think I'm the only person who feels this way about Alton Towers. I asked people from our Discord and some of my friends if they could reveal things that they have been sad about this year.
My lowest point at Alton Towers this year was when they rebranded a much-loved restaurant into a steaming pile of poo.
I got on row 4 on Smiler, row 4 wheel seat, if you know, and I almost threw up. The Smiler VTuber almost threw up on the Smiler. I felt so dizzy, I felt so sick, I thought I was going to faint. Anyway, smile always, everybody.
Spending time with Nathan Sr., that has been my least favourite part of the year.
I would say the removal of the Wickerman stack from the roller coaster restaurant. Absolute travesty.
Soul-crushing moment when I was going to go on the Smiler with my friends. There was a very aggressive ride host who literally shoved me out of the way and told me to move into the correct bay. This then made me have a horrible ride on the Smiler. Genuinely changed the way I perceived the park.
I cannot do burial grounds. No one will do it with me, it's so sad.
I would have to say that the opening day ride availability was awful, and then the Toxicator poo explosion and the queue line was the cherry on top. It wasn't great.
No, I will say, okay, we're getting into a little bit of the video now where patience is starting to wear thin, my forbearance is wearing thin. I'm looking at the paint in the Toxicator queue and I'm thinking that's wearing thin. There's just something that's making me think the park's being neglected. I'm going to take a little step back and just explain to you why this happens, or I'm going to explain to you the thought process behind this. I know that most people would, have to save up for a trip to Alton Towers and they wouldn't be looking at all these bad things and they'd just be grateful for their day out. But that's actually the exact reason why it bothers me, is that Alton Towers have the cheek to charge that much for their entry tickets and all of their food and things around the park and experiences, when there's bits like queue lines and drainage that just makes the place feel neglected or outdated and sort of oh look, we gave you a flat ride that's the same thing rotated 90 degrees. That's a hot take, and you're gonna like it, and we're not gonna pay anyone to clean it, really. The water is going to leak all over you in the queue, but we've closed the main queue so you don't have to walk as long. And small bits like closing the main queue are just nice things that the staff do. I'm more complaining here about the company that's a little bit higher up. I know there's cost of living, I know that we're in a financial crisis, so I'm only sort of coming at this as a very regular consumer perspective. I still love Alton Towers, I'm still going to go back, but it is interesting, isn't it?
Hi there, we just went on Toxicator. I really liked it. A, because we didn't get wet, and B, because they had little bag holders now. Although they look like they've been there years, they have only just recently been added. And C, we've got one extra spin, so there's 4 continuous spins in a row, which is pretty intense. Not as intense as Tara and I here, or what's that other one called? But really good, perfect. And the staff are really nice.
Tin Man. Stripper Tin Man.
If you're wondering why I'm saying that, it's because they have money tucked into them. It seemed funny at the time.
The sky ride's not open, third time looking, which is really annoying because our whole day is planned around going around the sky ride. We've never actually been on it since 2015? It is testing though, but it's been testing every time we've come here.
Something that enthusiasts have been waiting... Oh, not going to show my feet. Something enthusiasts have been waiting for a long time was for the sky ride to open so that we could get to and from each very, very far apart end of the park quicker with beautiful views, and it's just nice, isn't it? It's an extra thing to do. Usually has no queue. But even something small that adds a bit of value to your day like that has been closed for a while. And if you want to see why I think that was actually maybe a good thing, it's a stupid video. Someone said it was a stupid video, so I guess it's stupid, but you can watch that here. But we've been waiting for that to be open for ages, and they don't seem to open it at the start of the day at the moment, which is just really annoying, because if you want to go to the back of the park, you can't. Well, you can walk it. As I mentioned, this was September, so I was filming little bits of, you know, what the Halloween events were going to be. In the theme park community, obviously, Halloween is a big celebration because it's an excuse to do, like, scare attractions. I suppose that's attractive because we're thrill seekers. I wish that they had more variety throughout the year outside of Scarefest for, I guess, something additional of added value in the park. They had Oktoberfest, obviously, and Mardi Gras, but we don't have that anymore at Alton Towers because poor Merlin Entertainment's team were, I guess, let go for financial reasons. What do you think of that? I know, again, that's old news, but if you're new here and you're not into theme parks, I'm just filling you in. This is part of the reason the enthusiasts have got a bit of a sour taste in our mouths, because there's sort of a weird atmosphere of budget cuts, and that's sort of too far for some people. I know that Kip Hakes has been taking a step back as a protest, so well done to you. But I mean, I'm still going. Sorry, Kip. But it's a bit of a personal thing, isn't it? That's a bit too far. You took it too far. And speaking of sour taste in the mouth, I had an incident the other day when I went to Alton Towers. Oh, someone saw me, by the way. Hi, if that's you watching. You should have said hi, but it's okay. I look different in real life and probably looked very lost and scared and confused. That's just sort of my resting face. I think I was chemically poisoned at Alton Towers. I'll say allegedly, but I'm the one making the allegation. And if you want to find out more about that, continue watching the video.
Hello. My top tip for theme park food is to take a bag of either cashews or peanuts or something if you're not allergic to them. I had pretzels today, but normally I would suggest a bag of nuts. The protein helps keep you from losing energy throughout the day.
Can you tell this is Jack pre-nuts? It's another top tip. If you like to sit on the back row of roller coasters, you can buy back row please pins. And if you hate trim brakes, you can also get pins that tell people you hate trim brakes.
I don't know why I had a baby voice there, and I'm really sorry. It's very cringy to watch. There is a lovely example of the pins. This is your reminder to have a look at them in case you haven't checked them out already. Thank you. Here is a lovely shot of the Alton Towers app, which sometimes I reckon they wish they just shut it down. The app actually isn't available to view. Do you see that cat hair floating in the air? So the app isn't actually available to view when you're at home, unless you live at Alton Towers. Then you're the Alton Towers bear, and I know who you are and where you live. What am I saying? They only let you view the queue times when you're on site at Alton Towers, which is very interesting. Why do you think they do that? And you might be thinking, how did you look at those then? It's just on a website. It's on a website. Isn't that terrible? Look at all the things that are closed. Geek shot. I just wanted to say, on this image, I just really love the like skin texture representation, you know, cellulite. It's really nice to see. Thank you, Alton Towers. No complaints on that. This is my husband, by the way.
So, if you're here wondering, how can I scare my kids more than Gangster Granny the ride? Apparently, Day of the Dead thingy, Scare Maze for Scarefest, is actually really good, according to Dan Bannon. But he said that the sumo wrestlers come out and grab your children and stuff, so be careful. But also, the carousel, some of them are rock. Roger's bouncy bottom burp. We're going to get some re-rides in before Scott William Smith gets here. And he is our celebrity attraction today. attraction, celebrity guest, because
I said again that this video was filmed in September, which is when I had just freshly uploaded the Gangster Granny David Walliams video I made, which I imagine is where most of you found me from. So I felt like an imposter going on that ride. I know. But do you know what? Most things on there weren't even working. So I was kind of like, well, I've had a new ride experience, stripped back, more autism friendly, sensory wise ride on the ride.
here we are sat in front of Raj's bouncy bottom burp so we can watch the public humiliation rituals. We've just done David Walliams's Gangster Granny, the ride. And there's a lot of things gone wrong with the tech side of it. So the projections were a bit dim, the music and volume speakers were actually a lot quieter, the smell of cabbage soup was far stronger, and there was literally no fart sound effect when Granny was swimming. The lights were stuck on.
The explosion scene, the bolt fall.
Well, there you go, guys. So there's a lot wrong with the tech in that. However, I will say we did get our free photo with some watermarks on it. Oh, there's 2 adults on Raj's bouncy bottom burp on their own, actually. We might go on that. Come on, David. Oh, he won't be here, will he? Do you think it's ever come back? If you're interested in seeing a breakdown of the issues behind Gangster Granny Ride outside of the engineering, have a look at this video. Looking forward to seeing Scott William Smith.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him. It's been a while since we've seen him. It'd be quite nice to see him. I can't wait.
Okay, if they retheme this, I just beg that they keep the whimsical sound effects on this, because I love Raj's bouncy bottom burp. It's got so much airtime and it does something in me, like, ew. The adrenaline that I get from the public humiliation actually is more than that I would get on the Smiler. And apparently that one killed many people. And just to be clear, that's me joking. Nobody's died on the Smiler. There was a terrible accident. I'm not going to be making fun of it, but I'm more making fun of the person just spreading misinformation here on Facebook. Thank you, James, for finding that screenshot. It's hilarious. Look at this bench. They need to drill this into the ground.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
If I lift my feet off the ground, we fall.
We're gonna die. Let's go on Raj's bouncy bottom burp, shall we?
Admittedly, we were in a kids area and we probably exceeded the weight limitations for that bench, but look at that.
Best ride in the park.
So that is one sort of weird thing, is that, you know, with Raj's bouncy bottom burp, why am I so into that ride more than I am the Smiler? I think it's because it's something new. I love novelty, so why am I going to the same place all the time? It's this weird thing that the inner conflict in Enthusiast, where they seek out novelty in the same places all the time, can spark rage. And you're about to see a little bit of this rage. Actually, my husband was just filming bits of things for B-roll, but I had my microphone on. This is generally just how we talk to one another throughout our day at Alton Towers.
Oh. And they've still got the stuff left over from the dungeons. What are they planning on using that for? Balls and the bench on a slant. Tubes, just boxes of what? What is that? What's the point of those boxes? Cabbage supplies. That's the way that they wanted to theme that. They just thought cabbage supplies. Burger Kitchen. Probably one of the better eating establishments, but I mean, that's not saying a lot. Overall, I'd actually say, despite my latest video, I had the best time in the Gangster Granny world just because the staff are a bit nicer. Okay, yeah, so that's me complaining about the inconsistency of the theming in that area, which is it's not a big deal at all, is it really? You know, people are dying, Kim. Like, it's not a big deal, but I think it just annoys me because they've got such a big budget, they've got so much potential. Just do something good with it. I don't think it would be that hard. And I do believe that a lot of enthusiasts feel similarly, in that we just see so much potential in these theme parks, and we want them to do well, but we have no authority, so it's kind of frustrating. I don't really fancy going back to 13 today because I don't want to get verbally abused. That is a very dramatic description of what happened, but it's just, guys, I'm really sensitive.
we'd just been on 13 single riders and we got on pretty quickly. It was probably about a 10-minute wait. And in front of us was a lovely enthusiast with insider information telling us that there's 8,000 people here today. So 13's normal queue had about 45 minutes. Rita had about 45 minutes. Everything's picking up a bit just after 11, nearly 12. Although the one sad thing is that one member of staff who was distributing the people in the queue, if you're watching this you know who you are, was very, very sassy towards my husband. I don't like conflict at the best of times towards me, but even worse, someone messing with my husband, they're going to get pushed on front of the tracks. I might edit that. Prayed for. How do you feel about it, Jack?
It was upsetting. I don't like it when people don't use their brain and seem to have some sort of power complex.
Like me, YouTuber Luweepoo selling her own merch at 600 subscribers. Skyride's open now, people are on it, missed it again. Might go on it for a giggle though. Do you guys think we should go on it for a giggle? Do you think that'll make you giggle? So, thank goodness, we were going to meet up with our lovely friend Scott William Smith. In the theme park community, everyone seems to know each other one way or another, or you've got at least like, you know how they say you're always like 3 connections away from a celebrity or something? In the theme park community, it's one connection away all the time, I believe, based on nothing. But that does mean that there is a very tight-knit community, and because the motive is always the same, it's very easy to meet up with people, and that's why we were going to meet up with theme park legend Scott William Smith, who is one of the people who runs Theme Park Society, the amazing YouTube channel, and I've even been lucky enough to feature in some of the videos. Check out that channel if you're interested in some theme park challenge content. They're very funny. I would definitely recommend it. There's a guy in a suit. If you're wondering why we're going it's because he's a Michael Jackson impersonator, and you might be thinking, what? I thought that as well, and it turned out to be true. Now, something I wouldn't have done as a kid when I was looking forward to my trips to Alton Towers is obviously drink. Whenever all the queues are very long, it's nice to just sit and try and enjoy the atmosphere. Until I found this in my drink. I've had to drink my wine down to the point where it's just past that splotch that is unfortunately on the inside of the glass. But the good news is, Scott William Smith is coming soon.
How do you react with one face?
Oh my. I've seen dirty glasses, you know, with fingerprints, sometimes even lipstick. Pretty minging, but that is a solid matter on the inside of my drink. And if you saw how much I paid for that drink, you would be so upset. And I'm a germaphobe.
What's been the dirtiest moment of the day?
So the park is just filthy.
Like I said, there's just bird poo and gunk on every surface. It wouldn't take much to clean it off.
I've got bird poo and gunk. And I'm like weird about what I eat and drink. So that was disgusting. Okay, I did promise you that I would tell you this story. I'm going to just tell you this as a very matter-of-fact sort of way, because I don't know what it was. I only have theories about this incident. I don't know what happened. I was in Burger Kitchen last week. Lovely start. Which no, I don't mean Burger King. Burger Kitchen. That's what it's called. A little burger kitchen, whatever you want to call that area. And I was ordering my kids' meal, and my friend with me orders the same and says, "Oh, I'm going to go for an ice cream." And I was like, "Well, I'll go for an ice cream then." Don't know. I've never had an ice cream at Alton Towers before. That was very exciting. When the other ice cream that they sell was either Nitro Genie, so made in a novel way, which is a little scary for me, or black ice cream, which again is very novel, but it's not for me. So I thought, well, this looks like a nice normal ice cream on the menu. It's got chocolate on it. It's got marshmallows. It's even got a little wafer. So that was really exciting. My meal was fine. It was very fresh actually. Came to eat my ice cream, and my mouth started burning, and I thought, what? I've got a peanut intolerance. I'm not supposed to eat peanuts, so I thought that's probably what it is, maybe. But it was weird. It had like a plasticky, chemical, soapy aftertaste, and I couldn't get out my mouth. And I continued to eat, which is my fault, and it was just so bad. It felt like my throat was burning, then my stomach was burning, and I was so like scared I had been poisoned. And the only thing I can think of, we were the first people to have ice cream, I'm assuming, that day, by how long it took them to make the ice cream. And I'm assuming that there must have been some kind of like cleaning product in there that I ingested, and my friend had a similar experience. It wasn't like gone off milk, it wasn't anything like that, it was like chemically. So, and I went up with my little ice cream pot that just had a few bites out of it, went up to ask maybe for a new one or what on earth it could have been, because I was feeling proper poorly, and I got too scared. So I just threw it in the bin. That was £4. There you go, there's my story.
Scott William Smith's gone to order his drink and oh my gosh, he's already fuming. He's in a huff. He is fuming. Are you scared, Jack?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
He's a scary man.
He is the most intimidating man.
This was the time that we were anticipating Scarefest. So here is Scott William Smith, who, honestly, sorry Scott, I don't remember what exactly you said your job was, but he's had some experience working with the creation, I think, sorry Scott, of scare mazes for a different company. So his opinion here for the lineup was going to be interesting. But please note that Scott is also an enthusiast, and if you don't mind me saying, Scott, probably grumpier than me and my husband. So be warned. Sorry, Scott. I'm sorry. Sorry. Hope we can still be friends.
I'm scared.
Oh, if I'm being recorded, I'm wearing a singlet.
Okay. Scott William Smith, as your experience as a scare maze engineer, how do you feel about the lineup for Scarefest, Alton Towers Scarefest 2025?
Good question, Louise. I'll be honest and say I'm very indifferent, mainly because I'm going to Europa and there's only so much excitement a guy can have. So when I think about Alton Towers Scarefest, it's almost like a bit of tumbleweed that happens in my brain. So you've asked me that question and that tumbleweed is happening. But let's try and break it down. On what I am maybe potentially looking forward to and maybe what I'm not. Will I get the £80 scare ticket or how much it's costing? Probably not. Will I do the new maze, which is edging in the forest? Maybe. Only because it's new. Am I looking forward to it? Not really. What else? What else is happening? What's happening this year, Louise? Kids? No, I'm not interested. What else? Exactly right. That summarises my entire point. And because I'm a theme park enthusiast,
I've got that.
I'm gonna rock up and just attend. But am I excited for it? Not really. I'm more excited for fireworks. Platinum Premium Merlin Annual Pass. Yeah, you're welcome.
If you agree with Scott, say Secret Weapons Smith, you're right. And if you disagree with Scott, say Secret Weapons Smith, you're wrong.
This is clever. I had to take that and walk into Hex with it. Oh, what games you playing? And I just deadpan went.
I was very old when I first heard about it. And, you know, as a child, I never know him.
It wasn't upside down though. Did you know it doesn't go upside down, Jack?
I didn't know.
Are you joking?
Ah, yeah, Hex is one I don't really... It's been closed for a while and then they brought Hex back, which is like an indoor dark ride with some storytelling aspects on it, if you haven't been on it. I won't give any spoilers, but to be honest, there's nothing new in Hex that I could notice. Felt like it was closed for nothing. And I'll make fun of the mildew walls and the stinky smell of damp, but you might love it. At Alton Towers there are very few things that really get me very excited anymore, but I do cling on to those moments. But one is definitely the Smiler. I know that you're trudging through poorly drained cattle pen cages that are very loud and overstimulating.
Freezing. Where's Jeans?
But I still get excited because I love the Smiler. But you can see me going crazy for the Smiler here, and this is actually a very embarrassing video, but I'm going to keep it in.
I love the Smiler. Oh, it's soggy.
And that's enough of that. Obviously I love the Smiler, I'm not going to say anything else. Finally we went on to Spinball Wizard as we were heading back to the entrance of the park, which I still call Sonic Spinball, and I think a lot of enthusiasts see this as quite a like outdated ride. It doesn't really fit into a themed area, but as a layout I really love it. It can be really intense, and I love that each ride is slightly different from each other every time you go on it. Just pretty uncomfortable restraints.
Pardon the absolute racket here. So we've got basically walk on Smiler. Now Scott William Smith, the guy in the suit, is going to do single rider on Spinball until we get on as a duo. Where is he? There he is.
And that brake run, oh my.
Cheers, come on.
We did pretty well to get on it that fast, but it was closing time, which you might be thinking, what? You've been there for like 8 hours, how is it? What? It's already closed? No, we'd been there 6 hours, and yeah, the park closed at 4 p.m. There were lots of children there. If you were wondering why there were so many queues, given we saw how quiet it was at the beginning of the day, I think it was partially because there were so many rides closed. But also, there were school trips there. Why are people on school trips in September? We never did that. What is that about? Someone explain, because I don't understand. Which was pretty annoying because a lot of enthusiasts go in September hoping for a really quiet day, and you only have like 1 hour when the kids start to go back to their school and you've got the park that's a little bit quiet. And this is how Scott dealt with having such a great day.
Hello. So I have maybe made a mistake in my life. I have purchased goods from the Alton Towers Resort Hotel. So I have bought jelly babies and I have bought a Coca-Cola. And you may be thinking, how much could that potentially be worth? £2. £2 is a good guess, because you could say that's worth £1 if we were in the early 2000s, and then that is worth £1 if we were in like 2008. But times have changed. I get a discount, so Alton Towers uplift, I think £6. £6 reasonable. £3 for that, maybe £3 for that. But no, Alton Towers have decided to charge me with a 20% discount, £9. But look at that, lemon garnish. It's worth that extra £6.
So that was our day at Alton Towers. Yeah, it ended at 4 p.m. and we were just sort of complaining the whole day. I am aware. I think telling myself off, Lou, if you're watching this back and you're editing, try and be a bit more grateful that you get to go to these theme parks, because like 11-year-old you would be so jealous of you right now. And I wouldn't say she'd look up to you. She'd think you were an absolute loony. Be a little bit more grateful. But my conclusion for this really is I think I just go there because I'm looking for magic again. It's escapism, it's special interest, it's trying to spot what's changed since last week. It's just interesting to keep tabs on things like that. I know that's really weird and it's like strange to be obsessed with like a company, isn't it? But it's more than that to me. It's like an actual place where I've had so many good memories. I just love all the days out that I get to have with my friends there, apart from that one. It's a really weird one because I said at the start that autism probably has a lot to do with it, but it can't just be that. I don't think it is. Are you similar to me? Do you complain a lot about theme parks but go back all the time? Do you wish you could go this often and wish that people like me would stop complaining and just be more grateful? Let me know. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss an upload. And I also go live as well, so if your notifications are on, feel free to join the live and we can chat. And I played Planet Coaster 2, which is really good fun. I just want to say I'm really grateful for all of like the comments people leave. They genuinely make my day. They're so kind. And even if you're just a silent lurker and you don't interact with my videos at all, you're still very welcome here and I'm very grateful that you're here. Okay, right, that is all from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a good one, guys. I'm gonna give you a double hand wave and make sure you check out the pins.